Number 7. Jason Padgett. Before the injury, Padgett was a self-described jock, and he hadn't progressed beyond pre-algebra in his math studies. After being brutally kicked in the head when he was 30, Padgett woke up the next day to find his world overlaid with complex mathematical formulas. He saw them everywhere he looked, and so he began to draw the things that he saw. Acquired savant syndrome allowed him to perceive various mathematical formulas in the form of geometric shapes. And although part of the brain was damaged, other rarely used sections of the brain compensated for the damaged areas. And with a little luck, the newly activated areas of his mind turned him into a mathematical genius. Scientists don't know whether the changes in Padgett's brain are permanent, but if he had structural changes, they say that it's more than likely his abilities are here to stay. Number 6. Ken Walters. Ken Walters was a disabled former engineer living on benefits after a heroic accident left him in a wheelchair. When things looked like they couldn't get any worse, Mr. Walters suffered a stroke at his home in 2005. The cerebral hemorrhage came with an unexpected gift in the form of newfound artistic abilities. Following his stroke, Walters, who had never before been artistic, started converting his doodles into incredible digital images. At the age of 51, Ken even went on to create his own software, which was quickly snapped up by computer giant EA Games. Number 5. Magneto Kid. 12-year-old Nikolai Kryaglyachenko was walking home from school one day when he was electrified by a faulty wire after leaning against a lamppost. Nikolai was blasted across the pavement by an electrical force, but still managed to get home. The next day, he discovered that metal objects were stuck to his torso and hands after he suffered that electric shock. He is now one of the most popular boys at school, with many of his classmates asking him to demonstrate his superpowers. Number 4. Tommy McHugh. Tommy McHugh was a petty criminal and heroin addict in early life. When he was 51, Tommy suffered a stroke on both sides of his brain that resulted in a new artistic personality. When he was released from the hospital, he was no longer able to walk, unable to eat, and he didn't even know that he needed to eat. But when he returned home, McHugh, with no previous interest whatsoever in the arts, was overtaken by a powerful urge to create. His compulsion and skills kept him painting for an average of 18 hours a day, 7 days a week until he died in 2012. Number 3. Derek Amato. When Derek Amato was 40, he dove into the shallow end of a swimming pool, hitting his head on the bottom. Along with the concussion-related side effects, including amnesia, Amato discovered a previously unknown musical gift. The head injury rewired Amato's brain circuitry, leading to what's known as acquired savant syndrome. Amato now plays the piano like a virtuoso, making up melodies from the patterns that stream endlessly through his mind. Number 2. Remembering too much. An anonymous young woman recently revealed how an accident during a ski vacation left her with phenomenally advanced mental abilities. Despite experiencing a headache and a broken collarbone, she didn't experience any dizziness or nausea and continued to ski the day away. In the weeks following the accident, her vision, perception, and her memory of things began to change drastically. She explained that she could not only remember every place she'd been with ridiculous accuracy, but she could also draw perfect diagrams of every single structure she had ever seen or visited throughout her entire life. Number 1. Tony Cicoria. In 1994, when Tony Cicoria was 40 years old, he was struck by lightning near Albany, New York while standing next to a public telephone. He recalled seeing his own body on the ground, surrounded by a bluish-white light. Cicoria's heart had apparently stopped, but luckily he was resuscitated by a woman nearby who was waiting to use the telephone. Although prior to his accident he had no particular interest in music, within 3 months of being struck by lightning, Cicoria spent all of his time playing and composing. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button, share, or write a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for my next video.